Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and I thought I would make a little video talking about the 4 Astros that were named to the AL All Star team, because apparently even on the day that the Astros don't play, I feel the need to talk about the Astros, right? So yesterday, the Astros had 4 players named to the All Star team. All of the All Star reserves were announced, and yeah, it was bad. Both All Star teams are kind of rough, and I'm going to have a bit where I just complain about the All Star game towards the end of the video, but that's not what this is for, right? This is for who was named to the Astros All Star team. Then I'm going to talk about who was snubbed and one player who was massively snubbed, which was Yuli Gurriel. Anyway, first All Star, Jose Altuve, the shortest All Star of the year. I don't know if that's true or not, but I would be completely amazed if it was not true, because it's Altuve. I love Altuve, but he is a short boy. Anyway, he's having one of the better years of his career, really. He's hit 18 home runs. His career high is only 31, so he should beat that. He actually is on a 162 pace for a 41 home run season, which is not something I thought I would ever see out of Altuve, which I will laugh till I cry if he hits 40 home runs this year. He goes into the All-Star, goes into today, currently batting .284, on base at .371, OPS plus, which is league park and area adjusted at .137, which is actually his third best of his career. So he's having a really nice bounce-back year from last year, which we will never talk about again, because, good lord, that was rough. But Jose Altuve has just completely bounced back. He's having a great year. It's great to see him out there again doing great like he is. He's second in pretty much every AL second baseman category offensively. He's having a very nice season, and he has 3.1 wins above replacement by Baseball Reference, which is what I usually use. And he now, with his 7th All-Star appearance, will tie Craig Biggio all-time for Astros players, or for All-Star appearances by an Astros player, which is pretty darn cool. It would be amazing if he somehow didn't break that. He's going to make another All-Star team between now and the end of his career. I am so relieved that he made it. Again, I'm going to complain about the All-Star game in a bit, but I really was not expecting Altuve to make it. I thought the hatred towards him and the bias was going to leave him getting not named to it, and I'm pretty happy to see him make the All-Star team. Next All-Star is Altuve's double play partner, Carlos Correa, which I love that he made the All-Star team just so that the world can burn. It really it brightens my spirit seeing that. I believe he is the second reserve. I don't know. It doesn't matter. He's a reserve. Should have been the starter because he leads AL shortstops in most categories. On base percentage, home runs, walk rate, leads him in weighted on base average, leads him in weighted runs created plus. Quite a bit of a lead in WAR. He is a fantastic player. Correa obviously definitely deserved the All-Star nod. He rolls into the All-Star game with pretty much career highs in everything. He's having debatably the best year of his career, which also happens to be the year that we have to find a way to pay him, which cries and Astros. Anyway, he rolls in with 16 home runs, a .298 batting average, a .398 on base, which, ooh, boy, Carlos, have a year. And an OPS as a shortstop of .927, which is dang. Along with that, a .153 OPS plus, which is magnificent for a shortstop, and he's also doing a pretty good job flashing leather this season. Again, super deserving of the All-Star spot. Again, I really didn't expect Carlos Correa to make it. I want nothing more than him to hit a home run and to do the I'm listening hand gesture to the audience, because, just the amount of salt buildup in Coors Field if that were to happen would be unmatched league-wide. It would be magnificent. The next All-Star is in the outfield, Michael Brantley. Whoa, I would have never guessed that Michael Brantley, who is a human metronome, would have made the All-Star team. I will try to contain my amazement. He's batting .340. He's getting on base at .384. He's Michael Brantley. He's doing what he does every year, right? He's being that consistent good player. His slugging percentage is actually surprisingly high, given that he really doesn't hit for home runs, but he has hit a crap ton of doubles. 23 doubles so far, and that's only in 63 games. Slugging .502, a pretty good OPS at 885. Nothing to complain about there. 142 on or OPS plus, 1.2 WAR. Again, that's only in 63 games. Obviously, well deserving in the spot. Michael Brantley having another great year. God, I'm just so happy that we got this guy back, and we'll have him again next year. Which, I mean, at the rate he's going, he might just never stop being good. Also, fun fact, he currently leads the league in batting average, which he could make a run at a batting title, which would be pretty cool to see. And that's it for the position player All-Stars, and the last one is going to be out of the bullpen. So the final All-Star for the Astros is Brantley and Pressly. He's having a very nice season so far. 33 games, 35 innings pitched, 1.54 ERA, has only given up 5 walks to 45 strikeouts, which is absurd. That's crazy, right? Last year, he only pitched 21 innings and had 7 walks. This year, he has 14 more innings and 2 less walks. He's having a fantastic bounce-back year from last year, which was inconsistent to say the least. He was pretty rough, right? He was not great. And it left us with a lot of questions, mainly, do we have a closer who going forward is going to be good or horribly inconsistent? Because last year, we didn't know. We thought we were getting a Pandora's box any time that Ryan Pressly entered a game. And this season, he's completely locked it down. He is back to the 2019 Ryan Pressly, but even better, debatably, with a 183 ERA plus, which is magnificent. His ERA is 5th best among AL relievers, and his FIP is 2nd best among AL relievers. And get this, number 1 is Colin McHugh with the Rays, which is pretty shocking to me. I'm really happy that Colin McHugh got it locked down, but at the same time, I'm sad that he didn't do that with us. Granted, he had a super elite relief season in 2018 for the Astros. He should have been an All-Star that year. I'm bitter about that still. I'm bitter about a lot of things. Speaking of being bitter about All-Star nominations, I'm going to talk about the 3 players that I think could have been All-Stars for the Astros, but weren't. At the same time, I get that, 7's a bit overkill, but if you're a good player, you're a good player, and I think they really should have made it. First Astro that I feel should have been an All-Star, I'm going to pound this table because I love him, Lance McCullers Jr. He should have been an All-Star. I don't care. I'm being honest with you. He is having a pretty darn good season. 13 games, 72 and 2/3 innings, 2.97 ERA, which is 7th best in the American League among pitchers with 70 innings pitched. He's got 81 strikeouts, so he has a pretty good K per 9, 10. That's pretty darn good. He has a decent whip, right? And his ERA plus is 146. That's All-Star. That's an All-Star. That's not incredible. He's not a Cy Young candidate, but that's good. That is All-Star level pitching. I'm not saying he should have been a starter. He shouldn't be the number 1 pitcher, but really, you're not going to let that guy onto the staff? Now, I don't want to be that guy, because I really like Shohei Ohtani, right? I love Shohei Ohtani. But he made the All-Star team, and he has a 3.6 ERA. Lance McCullers should have been an All-Star. I don't care. Maybe I'm a little bit biased. I might be a little bit biased. But I will stand on this hill firmly and say that he should have been an All-Star. He is having a good season, right? He is 46% better at run prevention than the average pitcher. That's All-Star caliber, right? I think anything over 130 should be All-Star caliber. Unless there's 1,000 pitchers over 130. But that's good. He's having a good season, right? He's having a pretty darn nice bounce-back season. He should be an All-Star. And I will die on that hill. Last pitcher that I want to talk about that I feel should have been an All-Star, Luis Garcia. He is probably going to win the Rookie of the Year right now. He's one of the better rookies in the American League. I think he's certainly a candidate for it. He had a good season, or he's having a good season. He had one rough start, which was mostly predicated on the fact that CB Buckner just decided to mess with the Astros. I'm still upset about that as well. But going into that blow-up start, that one singular blow-up start, he was an All-Star through and through, right? To that point, I believe 15 games, yes. A 2.83 ERA, which is great. 95 strikeouts, which is fantastic. Or 85 strikeouts. Did I say 85 strikeouts? 85 strikeouts. Right? He's having a good year. Right? And even now, after that one bad start, he's still doing pretty darn well. 3.14 ERA, which is pretty good. 80 and 1/3 innings pitched, 90 strikeouts so far, a 138 ERA plus. So it was a little bit higher than that before that rough start. A 1.12 a WHIP. Right, he's having a good year. He should have been an All-Star. I think it mixed between, the Astros already have 4 All-Stars, so they don't need any more. Because every team gets an All-Star so that players, or that people will watch, even if their team is horrible, which I also kind of dislike, because that means you snub really good players that deserve to be there in favor of a bad player that doesn't really deserve to be there, but their team doesn't have any other good players. I need to stop going on tangents before the tangent area. Luis Garcia could have been an All-Star. I think the one bad start really hurt his chances. But again, that wasn't really on him. That was more so on horrible umping. C'est la vie. I think he could have been. And the last one is sort of the elephant in the room. Did you really think I wasn't going to mention the man, the myth, the legend? Yuli Gurriel isn't an All-Star. How, you might be wondering yourself. I'm asking the same question. A .390 on-base percentage gets beat out by Jared Walsh with a .343. How? How does that occur? How does that occur? How do you allow that to happen? Yuli Gurriel is having one of the best seasons of his career. Not one of the best. The best season of his career, bar none. He beats him in everything. He beats him in batting average. He beats him in on base. Right? He beats him in WRC plus. And if Jared Walsh wasn't hitting a lot of home runs, Yuli would destroy him in WRC plus. Right? He narrowly has the edge in WAR. Right, so you can look at most of these statistics, and if you want to say, he only beats him in WAR by 0.1%. In WRC plus, he only has 2 points on him. And I would say, yes, I agree with that. He's still better, and if you look at on base, it isn't particularly close. And the big thing that you can look at, Yuli Gurriel this season has a 9.1 K rate. That is fantastic. That's wonderful. Jared Walsh is 28.6. It makes no sense. Yuli Gurriel was an easy All-Star, was a slam dunk pick. And he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. Right? It goes to Jared Walsh. Which sucks because Yuli is in the later part of his career. I don't know how many more elite seasons he's going to have. It would have been nice to see him make an All-Star team, but because weird baseball politics, he does not. And that leads me to the last part of the video. Look, at the end of the day, the All-Star game is pretty meaningless, right? Because you have players like that, like Yuli Gurriel, who has a .390 on base, who's getting beat out by a guy with a .343. And the All-Star game has never been about the best players getting there. And you might say, well, Weston, what do you mean by that? It's called the All-Star game. That means it's for really good players. It's a popularity contest. Right, the starters are voted in by the fans, and there's no better show of this than the fact that Mike Trout made the All-Star team. And under normal circumstances, you would say, Weston, why are you complaining about Mike Trout making the All-Star team? He's played 36 games this year. He hasn't played since, mid-March, so he's missed half of March, all of June, so far in July. We're 85 games in, and he's missed the majority of them. And he is an All-Star, which is... Fly in my face. Get out of here. It's horrible, right? It's bad. He's taking spots from players who really deserve it. And again, Mike Trout's a great player. But this season, when he's been injured for the majority of it, I don't see an argument of how he should be an All-Star. Right? And so I sort of had that moment where I was just sitting there kind of fuming about the All-Star nominations yesterday. And I was just kind of to that point where I'm like, it doesn't matter, right? The All-Star game is a popularity contest. It's a show for baseball to put on, and just like that, right? An All-Star is just a little thing that they put next to the player's name on Baseball Reference and a number on the patch that they put on the side of the jersey sleeve, right? Good players are good players. Bad players are bad players. It doesn't matter if you're a great player and don't make the All-Star team or if you're a good player and make the All-Star team. The Astros have a lot of good players. Some of them should have made the All-Star team. Some of them did, some of them didn't. But at the end of the day, it's not worth getting that upset about. So we just got to kind of move past it. It's neat that some of our guys made it. I'm happy that Altuve gets there. Now he ties the record, like I said, for the Astros with All-Star nominations. It's cool that Correa gets to go to another one. I would have liked to have seen Jordan make the All-Star team just simply to compete in the home run derby. That would have been fun. But the All-Star game is broken, and until baseball fixes it, it's just not worth getting excited about. in the sense of, like, worked up over who did or didn't make it. And it's certainly not worth arguing, well, this player is better because he made the All-Star team. It's not worth it. So, I know that's sort of a depressing way to end the video now that I've talked about who made the All-Star team and who didn't, but I just wanted to put my 2 cents in because I always get sort of upset or, like, excited about seeing who makes it and who doesn't, and then I see who does and who doesn't, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot, this is kind of a joke. And I just wanted to put my piece out on that because it bugs me of how they do it, and I wanted to say that. Anyway. That's it for this. I'm going to be back here later tonight after the Stanley Cup game. Game 4 could be the last one of the series to talk about that. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day. And as always, go Astros.